Sunday, everyone. We've got another game review for y'all today, and today we are talking As Dusk Falls. So you're finally getting a review that's pretty relevant to when the game was released. Go team! Alright, so As Dusk Falls is one of the newest releases on Xbox Game Pass. It's coming out, I'm sure you've seen it in previews, it's got a really unique art style. I would say that it looks kind of like an oil painting, but then, when it actually animates and you're like seeing video, it's kind of like, those books when you're a kid where they all have pictures on them and then you flip the pages and as they go by it looks like it's moving across the page. It kind of makes me think of that, and that's not a bad thing. Now, look, it's gonna be a little bit different at first, and I'm not gonna say it's great for everybody, but it is beautiful. Once I got used to it, I really didn't have any problems. Honestly, the harder part for me to get used to isn't actually the art style itself, it's the voiceover. So you're seeing the characters, but there's no talking. Their character, the model, is not talking. You hear the voice, as they're on screen. So, that you gotta kind of get used to that. But other than that, I wouldn't really worry about it. The art style is beautiful. The game is beautiful. And what is also beautiful is the writing. So let's get into it. So let's talk about the story a little bit. No spoilers, I promise. And then we'll go from there. So, in As Dusk Falls, you are a family. You are moving cross country because of there's been an event in your life and you really need to get away. I don't even want to say any more than that because it really, it could spoil things for you. So as you're making your way across town, you're in Arizona now, you're going across those kind of, those dead Arizona roads, there's nothing happening. As you're going down the road, you get run off the road by this truck that's just speeding down the highway. So now you and your family are stranded, you make your way up to a motel, and you're there for a little bit, okay? So now at this point, it switches perspectives. So the main story of As Dusk Falls is really told from two different families' perspectives. The family you start off as you're moving cross country, and then a family that has very clearly lived in this area that's called Two Rock in the game. So Two Rock, Arizona. This family has very clearly lived there forever. But here's the thing. They got a reputation for kind of being the not super upstanding citizen family, if you catch my drift. So now it switches to that family. And it turns out that family, that's a family that just ran the other family off the road. And what's this family doing? They're going to rob a house. Alright, so from there, hijinks ensue. And that's the main bulk of it. But now, the heart of the story comes when these two families get together. So now they've robbed where they're robbing. I don't want to say more than that. But eventually, they end up at the motel too. And in that creates a hostage situation. And that's where everything really starts to go crazy from there. And after that, the story is all about the intertwining of these families, the inner family dynamics, and then the family dynamics between the hostages and the people that are taking them hostage, and what led up to this event. So of course there's more backstory. Of course it's more simple than they just wanted to rob a house, and of course it's more simple than they were just moving across country. And that's where the story really shines. The voice acting is awesome. The voice actors do a great job, especially considering that there's no facial animation. So the heart and the character that you get, of course there's the artistry of what looks like an oil painting, but, because it's a painting, you can only get so much facial features out of that, right? So it's all got to be told. You got to hear it, you got to feel it through the voice acting, and the voice acting, phenomenal. Great job. Of course, again, the voice actors have to have something to work off of. The writing, phenomenal. Great. Now, the thing about the story here, this is definitely, I don't remember if the game's rated teen or mature. I'm pretty sure it's mature. There's a lot of mature, this is a game for adults. This is a game for adult people. The story that it's telling is mature. Now, when I say mature, it's not like crazy cussing. There's cussing. It's not like crazy cussing. It's not like, ripping heads off. It's not Gears of War. And, it's not some sort of softcore porn that you may occasionally get out of stuff. It's nothing like that. It's just mature. It's adult storytelling. It'd be like watching a TV series on AMC. And honestly, that's what this feels like. This game feels like you're watching a TV show. So it's broken up into book 1 and book 2. Each book has 3 chapters, and each chapter feels like an episode of a TV show. So really, this feels like season 1 of a 6-episode TV show. Each one lasts about an hour. The time flies. You don't feel like you're wasting your time with it. It is a really well-told story that keeps you on the edge of your seat. And here's the thing, you do need to be on the edge of your seat, because even though the gameplay in this is making decisions and quick time events, when those quick time events pop up, you want to be on your toes. And if you're not, bad stuff actually does happen. This is not like, let's say The Wolf Among Us, which if I remember right, if you fail a quick time event, it's like, oh, you failed, you're dead, okay, let's restart you at the checkpoint. That's not what happens in this game. If you fail an important quick time event, well, that's what's happening in your story from here on forth. So you don't want to fail. You want to, so like, normally, like in the Telltale games, for instance, I'd let go of my controller if, it was clear that stuff was, kind of slowing down for a little bit. You don't want to do that here. You want to stay on top of it. The quick time events do matter. For the most part, they're not overly difficult. Every now and then, one pops up that you kind of, I think I missed one through the entire game. I missed one quick time event, and it was just, I kind of wasn't paying as much attention, and, I just missed it. Thankfully, it wasn't too big a deal for me, but there are other ones that are very clearly big deals. So, we talk about all the branching paths and the different ways you can affect the story. This is a branching path games, like the Telltale games, like Quantic Dream games, and then like Detroit Beyond Human, when you end an episode, it gives you, hey, here's what other people chose, here's all of your different branching paths, here's the branch that you're on, and here's the other ones. Now, I don't remember if you could do this in Detroit Become Human or not, Beyond Human. I keep forgetting the actual title of that game, but if you really are curious, you'll know what it is. But so in here, like I said, I don't remember if Detroit is this way, but I know here, what's nice and what I really like is as it's showing you your branch, you can go to like where your choice was. And if that was like a key branch and you were like, hey, I'm curious to see what would have happened if I would have chosen the other thing here, you can start back at that point in the branch so that then you can make the other decision and work your way and see what happens from there. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. I do think I'm going to try to play through the game a second time. I'd like to play with somebody else, see how another person has a different perspective and see what happens. But that opportunity is there if I really wanted to see a different outcome, and I think that's really cool. This game was very clearly well thought out. The developers did a phenomenal job. The writers did a phenomenal job. The voice actors did a phenomenal job. I have nothing bad to say about this game. This game was excellent. The only thing I will say is that it does end on a cliffhanger, so I really hope that we get either DLC or sequel. I'm a big fan. I like to listen to the Kind of Funny podcasts a lot, and someone on there said, I don't remember, it might have been Andy, but don't quote me on that. It was someone on Kind of Funny, though, said that it felt like, okay, it's time for Season 2, and yeah, it ended on a cliffhanger. It feels like we need a second season, so whether it's As Dusk Falls 2, DLC, or it just leans full into the TV thing and says, okay, this is As Dusk Falls Season 2, one way or another, we need more because they did end us on a cliffhanger. But the main bulk of the story that you could tell they were trying to tell, they started off with, was told. This is very clearly a new string that they kind of hinted at throughout it, and they added on at the end, so it doesn't feel overly frustrating. So, don't think you're going to get pissed off about this cliffhanger. I don't think you will. I didn't. So, y'all, go play this game. It's, like I said, it's right around 6 hours at most. It's worth your time. You will not regret it. Give me a like. Give me a follow. If you've played it already, give me your thoughts in the comments below. And y'all have a great last little bit of your weekend and avoid the Sunday scaries.